the subtle spiritual pain. Feeling distant from God. There's a subtle kind of spiritual pain that many believers experience but rarely talk about. It's the ache of feeling distant from God, even when you're praying, worshiping, attending church, and doing everything right. You might be checking all the boxes yet still feel like the fire has faded, the presence has grown quiet, and the Holy Spirit seems far away. The truth? You might be pushing the Holy Spirit away without even realizing it. Not by rebellion, but by subtle compromises, divided loyalties, and spiritual numbness. Let's break it down. By Estad. Resisting surrender in small areas. We love to say, God, I surrender all. But often, what we really mean is, God, I surrender most. We give Him access to the rooms of our life that feel comfortable to expose, our worship, our prayers, our Bible verses on Instagram, but we keep certain doors locked. The private messages we send at night. The bitterness we've secretly nurtured. The relationships we've refused to let go of. Romans 12:1 calls us to become living sacrifices, not partial, not convenient, but full and total offerings. The enemy doesn't need to destroy your entire life, he just needs one locked room. That's enough to keep the Holy Spirit at a distance. Surrender, permission, not perfection. Here's the hard truth. The Spirit of God doesn't force His way into places we refuse to surrender. If He feels distant, maybe it's because there's a part of your heart you've labeled off limits. Surrender isn't perfection, it's permission. It's giving God access to the hidden places you'd rather ignore. Staying loyal to what God is trying to free you from. You pray for breakthrough, ask for more of the Spirit, but hold on to what He's trying to remove. The toxic habit He's been convicting. The identity He's trying to rewrite. The relationship He's asked you to release. Misplaced loyalty. Spiritual sabotage. We say, Holy Spirit, move, but we defend the dysfunction He came to heal. James 4:4 warns, don't you know that friendship with the world means enmity against God? You can't cling to chains and expect to feel free. You can't build intimacy with the Spirit while protecting what He came to break. Misplaced loyalty is one of the most dangerous forms of spiritual sabotage, because whatever you protect, you permit. And whatever you permit will eventually possess your peace. Living busy, but spiritually numb. You're not cold. You're not rebellious. You're just numb. Not because of sin, but because of speed. You scroll endlessly. You hustle non-stop. You pack your schedule with back-to-back meetings, obligations, and noise. But your spirit wasn't built for constant motion. It was built for connection. Galatians 5:25 says, since we live by the Spirit, let us keep in step with the Spirit. But if the Spirit is walking and you're sprinting, you're out of sync. It's like trying to stream something powerful on one bar of Wi-Fi. Choppy, disconnected, delayed. Distraction doesn't always look sinful. Sometimes it looks like productivity. Sounds like ministry. Feels like success. But if it pulls you from intimacy, it pulls you from power. The Spirit in stillness. The Holy Spirit doesn't compete for your attention. He waits for your surrender. And if your life feels loud but spiritually silent, maybe it's time to pause. Because the Spirit isn't found in the scroll. He's found in the stillness. Ignoring the inner check of conviction. You ever enter a room and just feel something's off, though you can't explain why? That's what conviction feels like in the Spirit. A soft whisper. A holy uneasiness. But instead of stopping, we drown it out. With playlists. With busyness. With denial. The Holy Spirit doesn't shout, he whispers. And every time you silence that whisper, your heart gets a little more numb. It's like walking away from a campfire. The warmth lingers for a while. But keep walking, and eventually you're in the cold. Wondering why God feels far. Hebrews 3:15 says, "Today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts." Conviction is a gift, not a guilt trip. It's God's warning system, built by love. But if you keep scrolling past it, laughing through it, or excusing it, you'll lose sensitivity to his presence, justifying what God already called out. We've gotten skilled at disguising disobedience. We say things like, "God knows my heart. It's not sin, it's just a vibe. It's not hurting anyone." But when you begin to explain away what God has already exposed, you're not softening sin, you're hardening your heart. Isaiah 5:20 warns us, "Woe to those who call evil good and good evil." When did bitterness become boundaries? Lust become just flirting? Gossip become venting? The Holy Spirit isn't confused. He doesn't negotiate with rebellion. He reveals it to heal it. And again, the enemy doesn't need to destroy your whole walk with God. He just needs you to justify one sin, protect one idol, defend one dysfunction. That's enough to dim the fire. The path back to his presence. The final question: what have you allowed, justified, entertained, protected, or prioritized that has slowly and quietly pushed the Holy Spirit away? Because the truth is this: what you're willing to confront might be what brings him back. The Holy Spirit hasn't left you, but he's waiting for surrender, for stillness, for truth, and most of all, for a heart that's open, even in the hidden places.